Hello all, welcome to study 41 of the Solving Studies to Improve Chess Calculation series. This position comes indirectly from a recommendation from a subscriber. He was commenting about some books that were interesting, and one of them, because I was curious, I went to Amazon and checked the previews. And one of them was Sergei Tkachenko book about Tigran Gorgiev, the maestro of practical studies. And I was starting to read the preview, and then I saw this first position and I thought it was really entertaining, and so I decided also to bring it to this series. I also hope you are going to enjoy it. As always, if you haven't watched the guide before going for the solution, if you have, you already know that the countdown will start, and then you start to solve, and then we see you again in the solution. And here we are, and as always, let's first look at the right correct move. Brilliant one, e5 check. Uh, let's come a bit behind. Let's look at the position. So we want to win, of course, and so we look at this pawn and we want to promote it either through b7, b8, which looks very tempting, or a7 and then a8. Of course, black also has a pawn threatening to promote, but at the moment is controlled by our knight. So it seems simple, and we start to wonder, well, is that simple? So we take this pawn to b7. Well, the bishop takes, trying to control. Okay, now I have my knight pinned, and so black is also threatening to promote to a queen. But okay, I can advance now e5, and when the king takes, I promote to the queen, and so I am winning at the moment, because after I can come with a queen either here or here, controlling the promotion of the pawn, and so everything looks fine, and we are in the winning route. But of course, black is not forced to accept the pawn; it can advance the king. But here, what is the possibility for white? Well, simply we go with the king to control the pawn. Now bishop can take the knight, but instead of us taking the bishop, we simply go to e2, which is a smart move, and the pawn is now threat. Even if black controls the pawn, then we promote to the queen. Notice that after taking the knight and we refuse, there is no way for black to control the promotion of the pawn, because we have now a pawn in the way. And so we are happy and almost ready to close the study. But of course, things never are that easy. And when we are going to solve, we can look at this position. Okay, we are almost confident that this is the right path to win it, but we also should search for the opponent's moves. If you remember from the guide, I also talked about that a lot on the guide. So we need to come back, reviewing our solution, and let's see if black here has other possibilities. And after a while, with some experience in calculating, we are going to discover that yes, black has this one. First, promote to a queen, check, forcing our knight to come back. Then the bishop goes checking our king. Well, the king moves to anyway, goes over here, for example, and now the bishop can control the promotion of our pawn, and we are really just expecting a draw from now on. There are no other possibilities, like for example, bringing the knight is the same thing. So we are going always to have these situations. Of course, we can try here to sacrifice the pawn, like check. The idea going with trying to attract the bishop to take the pawn, and then we fork it. But of course, black is not going to do such a stupid move and takes with the king, and now even worse, white is losing. So this was not happening, and we suddenly discovered this maneuver. Of course, going to take the pawn directly also is not possible. It's not possible for a win. But here it's easy to see. We simply are going to take and then promote to the queen. And again, other possibilities like the ones we saw before, promoting to the queen, the knight takes, and now it's a check, and we are going to take back the pawn. And so, as you can see, here we are just facing a draw. So after a while, we need to find a better solution. And here, I think I have told you about it before. I don't know if I have that on the guide. If I don't, should have. That sometimes we may try to exchange the move orders. And that's how we find the solution for this one. So we already saw the team of advancing the pawn, sacrificing it, so he can block the bishop to access promoting the queen, like in this example that we saw. And here we were just checking to get either the king to get checked after taking the pawn, or if the king moves, we are controlling the key d6 access to the bishop. So we just move the king, and so we are going now to control the pawn, and next move we are promoting to the queen. So coming back to the start, we already saw that e5 was a nice theme. So let's start by playing it. Of course, here black has the possibility not to take in the pawn. But as you saw before, the pawn, if not taken, it will control the d6 square, so making things harder for black. So I really think defense needs to take the pawn. But later we can see the other option, like going to e7, then we try to promote, and here we just bring the king, and as you can see, we are going to promote. So taking the pawn is the most challenging option for the defense. And now black to play. And again, white to play. And again, of course, we want to promote our pawn. So there's no doubt that b7 is the move over here. So defense to play. Okay, if we try to advance the pawn, which is a possibility, we promote to the queen. The knight takes the queen. Then we give a check. Well, we protect our king, and then the bishop controls the promotion of the pawn. So things don't look that nice. And of course, if we don't play this one, there is no way to reach to finish it again. So basically black is forced to this one. So we take the queen, and now the critical moment. And if you haven't reached here, well, it's a moment for you to find the proper move. And yes, another brilliant one, it's to play the sacrifice of the knight, but to e3. Brilliant one. Why? Because, of course, if the bishop takes the knight, okay, if it takes the knight, well, we just move the king, and there's no way black can stop promotion. Like, for example, over here, and of course, white is winning. What are the other possibilities? Well, after this one, well, we can also try to control the promotion of the pawn, but yeah, then again, we now have a fork. And so the king moves, we take the bishop, and in the end, it's a win. So finding this key, knight e3, brilliant one, was the key for our solution. And that's why I found it so entertainment. So it was like found by chance. I don't have the book yet, but maybe I will get it, because I found this one so interesting that I am curious to see how the other ones. Hope you have enjoyed also, and I see you in future studies. Bye bye.